Alright, so now that we have all of our flour bits and pieces all nice and rinsed, we're going to put them together to actually assemble the flour. I find the easiest way to poke these is truly just to use the end of my precision tip scissors from R&K and poke the hole right in the middle. You could absolutely use your heat craft tool and poke that hole, and we could have done that when we were cutting them out. I don't know why, I just tend to wait until this particular moment. So I've got a piece of floral wire. I'm just going to put a pony bead on the end, fold my wire back over on itself, and give it a quick twist. It's not anything you're actually going to see in the end, but it helps to give you some shape at the center of the flower to actually begin molding around. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this little petal. If you didn't trim your strings, you'll know which side's the back versus the front. In this case, I'm going to totally fold it in on itself. So I am actually going to put the back side in, and we're going to fold it around. So I'm going to just take my hot glue gun here. I'm purposely working with a low temp glue gun, so that way hopefully I don't completely burn my fingers. Put some hole around that little eyelet there, and then I'm just going to slide it over my thing here, work it past my little end that apparently I didn't get in quite tight enough, and just kind of stick it to the bottom of that pony bead. Now I did get some glue down underneath here, don't worry about it, you won't see it in the end. Just like I said, you won't see the pony bead. So we're going to fold this up, and we're going to pinch these ends in, and we're going to apply some glue here to help hold this kind of up and closed to form the center of the flower. Next one, same idea. Put some glue around that center there. Slide it on. And this time, when we slide it on, we want to kind of rotate it around so that way the area is the opposite of what we did. So the opening should be to the center of the petal this time. Little bit of glue on the edges of the petal that I'm going to wrap back up and around that center one that we just made. And then the same over here on the other one. So there we go, there's our center few petals. Now, as you continue through, you might get a little gluey. No big deal, give me just a moment here. We're going to take the first of the two smaller 4 petals. I'm going to go ahead and slide this one in and get it kind of situated, and then I'll go ahead and add my glue. And again, we're trying to make wherever the opening was be at the center of a petal. So what's going to be a little different about these petals that are 4 is this one came around this way and this one came around this way, just in how we did it. Now we're going to start with one, and we're going to continue to make sure that the same petal like wraps around and it kind of twirls around the flower. And you're going to do that for all of the remaining layers, except for this one's going to go one direction, the next one's going to go the opposite direction, and you're just going to flip back and forth. And each time you start gluing these together, you're going to glue a little little further out so they're not quite as tight. So there's a little bit of glue on the first one. I'm going to pick it up, put it on the outside of the petal, give it a hold, and I'm going to continue around the flower. Keep in mind that by the time you've gotten to this point, the satin or organza flowers are going to be kind of delicate. So, you know, give it a moment to cool before you stick your fingers on it. They are quite warm even using a low temperature glue gun, and nobody really likes burnt fingers. Then with the last petal here, you've got your option. You can leave it nice and large and open like this, which will help if you're, you know, making a bouquet or a centerpiece. These outside leaves will kind of push out a little further and help to fill in any gaps if you don't have a lot of small flowers. Or you can go ahead and glue this last petal, or row, excuse me, of petals up in like you've been doing the others and kind of close it in and finish it off. And there we go. There is our finished flower. Now, of course, you might have some glue strings to pick off like I do. Not a big deal, but the great part about making these yourself is you get to choose which colors you want, which fabrics you want, what you're going to put together, and what your final flower and ultimately your final bouquet or arrangement or centerpieces are actually going to look like.